Today we are talking about whether you should be sore after every workout you do. Also, remember to subscribe to my channel here so you always get notified with new workouts and videos. And come follow me on Instagram, Jessica Valant Pilates, for day-to-day tips. Last week, I got a great question from one of my Unlimited members. Unlimited is my special community where we offer workouts and online fitness and programs and all the fun stuff. And so she had asked about being sore after her workouts. She has noticed that as she progresses her workouts and as she does them more regularly, she's not sore after every single workout. And she feels that this means they're just not working. And she wanted to know my thoughts. So as a physical therapist and a movement teacher for over 20 years, I think it's a great question and one we're going to talk about today. First, we're going to talk about what muscle soreness is. So it used to be believed that it was actually a buildup of lactic acid in the muscles. And we know this isn't true. That's actually been debunked. So science and research now tells us that when you have muscle soreness after a typical workout, it is because you have micro tears in the muscles. So when they're working, they actually are becoming injured on a very micro level. They become torn just a little bit, little micro tears. So that soreness you feel is that kind of micro injury. And then they recover, they heal, strengthen themselves, get even stronger, and that progresses over time. And that is that typical muscle soreness. So a lot of times it is delayed. There's something called delayed onset of muscle soreness, meaning that you'll be sore possibly the next day after a workout, and it will last 1 to 2 days. That's typical muscle soreness. Now, please keep in mind, this is very different than pain that you might feel from an injury, and we're going to talk about that in today's video. So we aren't talking about that pain piece. We are talking about that typical delayed onset of muscle soreness that happens after a hard workout. And again, what is happening is you're getting small little micro tears or small little micro injuries within the muscles. But what happens is then they heal themselves and become stronger over time. So there is some benefit to that soreness, as we just discussed. When it's that typical delayed onset 1 to 2 days of soreness, it can help you then get stronger. It means that you're challenging yourself. It means that you're pushing your boundaries and pushing your comfort level. All of that can be a good thing. It also actually can help mentally. Sometimes it gives us that kind of motivational boost that we need. And that's what I hear from a lot of people. And what I think my member was referring to is it really kind of helped give her that biofeedback and that idea of, oh, I'm working really hard. This is working. I want to do more. So without that, she felt like it just wasn't effective. So muscle soreness can have a benefit in that way. The thing is, there is a lot of nuance and context to this that I want to discuss. So there are 4 main points that we're going to go through so that you understand a little more about whether it is a good thing or possibly not a good thing to feel muscle soreness after every workout. So the first area I want to cover is the idea that you actually shouldn't necessarily be really sore after every single workout you do. If you do have that belief, it probably stems from this toxic fitness culture that we have in our society. That idea that no pain, no gain is how we should always work out. And I can tell you as a physical therapist, that concept has sent me a lot of clients over the years because people really do feel that they need to push for anything to be effective. And that just simply isn't true. One thing to understand and really start to look at is that you should find some joy and some benefit in movement just for movement's sake. Sometimes a really nice long walk in the sun can be helpful. Getting down on your mat and stretching. The other thing to know, if you're saying, Jessica, I don't like to do those things. I want to push as hard as I can every single workout. I know you're not alone, but also please know that is not sustainable. Our bodies cannot sustain every single day being pushed to that level. Even elite athletes have days of rest, either an active rest or an active active recovery or a massage day or something to let their muscles rest. So keep that in mind. You actually don't want that level of soreness after every single workout that you do, because your body needs that time to rest. And keep in mind, when I say rest, that doesn't mean you need to take an entire rest day if that doesn't work for you. Think of it as active recovery. Think of it as a different kind of workout, or think of it as a stretching or a mobility day. There are different ways to do it, but you definitely want to allow your body to kind of come down from that high level of soreness before it does another workout at that capacity. And we already touched on this a little bit, but that second concept that I want to talk about when it comes to being sore after a workout, kind of that nuance that we're talking about, is just the idea that you can find benefit in so many different types of movement. And luckily, science and research is showing us that so much now. For example, I'm 46 years old. I'm in perimenopause. I absolutely would not respond well to doing a really hard workout like that every single day. I have responded really well over the past year, and my perimenopause symptoms have, to making sure that I add some really long walks throughout the week. So I have my harder workouts and my lifting days, and I do a lot of walking, and that alone has helped my body recover in so many different ways. A lot of clients I work with, we talk about what are the functional benefits of moving. Do you want to get on and off the floor independently? Do you want to be able to move furniture? Do you want to be able to lift your kids or the car seat? So realize that there are so many different benefits to movement, and work on trying to get out of that first concept we talked about, that no pain, no gain mentality. Realize that there's a place for that, but there is definitely a place to help our bodies in other ways as well. The third concept I want to make sure we touch on is this idea that there is a difference between good soreness and bad soreness. So we referenced that at the beginning of today's video. But as a physical therapist, I talk so much to my clients about this, and I make sure that they know that difference. I tell them I don't want them to feel any soreness that recreates their pain. So if you have a specific injury, if you're recovering from a surgery, anything like that, I don't want the soreness you feel to recreate that pain. That means that that injury has been aggravated. That kind of soreness is not what we want. I also don't want you to not be able to live your life. So if you are so sore after a workout that you cannot walk up and down the stairs for 4 to 5 days, or you can't do another workout for a week, that's an indicator to you that that was actually too much soreness. It should never prevent you from working out for a week. That is too much. So make sure that you understand and kind of know that difference between good soreness and bad soreness. And yeah, sometimes you might not know till the next day. Honestly, I did a workout this week. I went to the gym and I lifted legs. I haven't done it in a long time, and I went heavier than usual. I didn't quite know until the next day that it was a little too much. I'm on my 3rd day today. It's still sore to walk downstairs, but I can still work out. I did a shakeout jog. I'm able to do that, but I also know now, I'm gonna remember that was a little too much. I need to back off slightly, not all the way. It's not gonna give me fear of movement. It just means we have to be very conscious. We have to think about it and pay attention to what's going on and know whether the soreness we feel is that 1 to 2 days and then it goes away, or whether it might have been pushing it too much or might be injuring ourselves more. And the fourth and last concept I want to address is this idea that you just have to know your own body. We are truly all different, and we can all handle different types of workouts. And so that's where a lot of this nuance really comes in. So I follow some people who do 2 to 3 really, really heavy lifting workouts per week, and then they just walk and do some stretching the other days, okay? That's a plan that works really well for them. So they kind of have a baseline fairly low, and then when they hit it really, really hard, and it works really well for them. I have tried that personally. I have tried it feeling like I should be doing that, my body imploded. I was so sore. I get very inflamed. I sometimes will spike a fever and get sick. And it took me years to realize it's because of my endometriosis, which acts as an autoimmune disease, and my hypermobility, which just simply can't act that way. And I can't do those types of workouts. But it took me figuring that out, and really like days upon days of soreness, for me to realize it was too much. You might be the opposite. You might be able to follow a schedule like that and do really well. So you really do have to know your body and how it responds to certain workouts. And the way you do that is by creating a baseline. Simply build a habit of moving every single day. And understand, if you don't feel sore at first, that's okay. It's completely fine, because you're building a habit. Once the habit is there, once you have a plan down, and this is what we do for my unlimited members, we have a certain plan per week. We work arms, legs, we do some weights, we do some Pilates, some stretching. Once that baseline is built, then you add a couple days of more difficulty, and you see for a week or two how you do with that. And if you feel that normal soreness, great, you stay there for a few weeks. Once that becomes your new baseline, then you can add a little more. And you do it that way so that you're working within your baseline, and you're also working with what your body knows as kind of it's built up as its new foundation. What really doesn't work is if you have no baseline, you do nothing, then you spike it and do a really hard workout with a friend. You do something thinking you should, like I'm gonna follow that thing on Instagram and I'm gonna do that hour-long workout. And then you're so sore you can't move for a week, and then the cycle starts over. It is all based on patience and consistency. And again, knowing your body, building it up step by step, knowing then when it's time to challenge yourself, once you've built either the habit or maybe you've recovered from your surgery, whatever it is, you've gotten through a really stressful time in life. Once you're out of those, then is the time to start to challenge yourself and start to enjoy that muscle soreness. So I hope that helps. It truly is a topic I'm so passionate about, because I think it's important that we all understand the beauty and the value of movement, and also when it's appropriate to make it harder and to feel that soreness, because that has a lot of benefit as well. Thanks so much for being here today, and I'll talk to you soon.